Guys, what's up? It's Julie the Bibliophile, and today I am here to do the makeup book tag. So first of all, I apologize for my messy room behind me, but I'm still working on cleaning it right now, and you know, this is my makeup mirror, this is where it is, this is the camera shot I could get, because I wasn't going to be able to put my makeup on in the phone, because I cannot see and I don't feel like putting in my contacts. I first saw this video on Sarah without an H's channel, and I couldn't find the original video, so I will tag her original video in the description below. And I'm going to use her questions because she added a lot of questions to the tag and I really like the questions. So I'm not going to have books to hold up today because I'm going to be doing makeup. And if I look gross, I'm really sorry. But this is me without makeup, you guys. Alright, let's go! So the first question is primer. And this is a book that left a lasting impression. For my primer, I'm using the Mineral Infused Face Primer from e.l.f. And for my book, I'm going to go with 7 Minutes in Heaven, which is the last book in the Lion Game series by Sarah Shepard. And the Lion Game series is about, like, this girl named Sutton, who's dead, and then her twin sister has to pose as her, but Sutton's friends don't know, and then, you know, by the time Sutton's friends find out in this last book, we get a funeral scene, and it's really sad, and I remember this book staying with me because I was thinking about, you know, always telling you, for a while I was always telling my friends that I loved them, like, every time, even if we were going to see each other, like, 2 hours later in school, I was always like, alright, bye, I love you, because, like, it kind of left a lasting impression on me that, like, you never know when the last time you're going to get to say something is, so, you know, don't be afraid to tell your friends you love them. Question number 2 is foundation, and this is your favorite first book in a series. For my foundation, I am using the moisturizing foundation stick from e.l.f. Cosmetics in the shade Ivory. For this one, I'm going with the first book in the Kingdom Keeper series. Big surprise, right, you guys? Which is Disney After Dark. And I think this book does a really good job of setting up the whole series. And the funny thing is, like, this book was not this series was not intended to go on past the first book. Like, there was a big gap in between the first and second book. It was just supposed to be the one book. But, you know, Ridley Pearson, the author, wrote it, and he kind of wrote the book and left it off at a place where you could have more, but it could very easily be finished where it was, too. And the fans at that time, in 2005, when I was just a youngin', I was 7, so 6 and 7, so like too young to be reading that book, so I didn't see this, but the fans basically begged him via email and online and stuff, like, hey, extend this, and now he is 2 books into the second series of the whole story, which is going to be a trilogy, and then he announced a few months ago that there's going to be a 3rd series too. So, you know, this first book took him far. And the great thing about this first book is that it's so intriguing. And the first book of Kingdom Keepers kind of, like, reminds me what Kingdom Keepers is really about. It definitely serves as a foundation piece for the whole series. And that was really the original book where, you know, one of the things I love most about Kingdom Keepers is when they go on rides and the rides go haywire, and that sort of disappeared as the books went on, but it was really present in Kingdom Keepers 1, and, you know, it was in the Magic Kingdom. It set up this whole saga of fighting villains in Disney, and the first book was so intriguing, and it's just so much fun. Whenever I reread that book, I have so much fun, and I'm reminded why I love the series so much, so it does a really good job of being a first book. The next question is concealer, and this is a character that you would like to make disappear. So for my concealer, I'm going to be using corrective concealer from e.l.f., and I'm going to be using this yellow shade here that I need more of. And so for this one, you know, I'm going to go a little controversial here, but not controversial because I know the internet has sort of turned against this character, but they still love having him there. But I'm going to go and say Severus Snape. Not that he wasn't a brilliantly written character, I respect that, but, like, as a person, I need him to leave and stop with his, like, crazy, unhealthy, obsessive lust with Lily that just makes everybody uncomfortable and, you know, hating Harry and treating the poor kid like dirt just because he was still mad at his father for being in love with his mother. And, you know, and then he was also awful to Neville for, like, no reason, just because you're a bitter guy. Snape was kind of just an awful person, and, I'm really just want to make him go away. So I would like to conceal Snape and make him not be happening. The next question is powder, and this is your favorite last book in a series. My powder, I'm going to be using this oil control powder from CoverGirl in the shade Classic Ivory, and I'm going to be putting it on with my kabuki brush from e.l.f. So most of the series that I'm still really into after all these years, that I've either actually finished or am still into, don't have last books yet, so I didn't really feel like I had a lot of options here. Like, I wanted to say the Seventh Kingdom Keepers book, because technically that's the end to the first series, but when there's things like that, I kind of, like, see all the series as one, so I wasn't really considering that the last book. Plus, I was trying really hard not to repeat books on this list, and, I already said the first Kingdom Keepers book for the foundation question, so I didn't want to do that again. And, yeah, so that's basically that. So I'm going to go with the classic cliche answer, and that is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, because, you know, that book was just amazing, and I haven't read it in so long, but I still remember it just being this amazing thing that no one could ever forget, because it just tied up the whole series so perfectly and nicely. The epilogue was perfect, and I know a lot of people hate the epilogue, but I don't understand why, because that's exactly what an epilogue should be to me. Harry Potter is like the epitome of what an epilogue should be, and it just tied everything up so perfectly. Next question is eyebrows, and this is a book that everyone should read. For my eyebrows, I'm using a baked eyeshadow trio and an angled brush from e.l.f. Now, I really wanted to say this book for a book that left a lasting impression, because it really, really did. But again, I didn't want to repeat books. I'm going with 13 Reasons Why, because everybody should read this book, because it left a lasting impression on me, because I think it leaves a lasting impression on everyone who reads it. Like, 13 Reasons Why is really so magnificent from both sides. Like, if you're someone who has been depressed or suicidal, or really just depressed, or, you know, someone who hasn't been and trying to understand it, or someone who has known someone who does have depression or has been there, it's really kind of an eye-opening book. And, you know, having Hannah talk about the reasons why she killed herself and watching her spiral down into that complete suicidal state is really kind of brilliant and heartbreaking to read, and it leaves a lasting impression on you, like, to just, you know, pay a compliment to anyone. Like, if you like someone's shirt and you're really shy to say that you like their shirt, don't. Hannah kind of emphasizes the point that had, on the day she decided to kill herself, that if one person had just said hello to her or complimented her, it might have changed her mind. So, you know, I feel like if everybody read this book, the world could be a much kinder place. We could have a lot of kindness in the world. Just pay people compliments. You never know when someone needs it. So everybody, I really think 13 Reasons Why should be required reading in middle and high schools to teach kids about mental health, because it does a really good job of painting it, and I really think everyone, it should be required reading, okay? Next question is Eyeshadow, and this is a book that has your favorite colors on the cover. Now, this is a book that I started and never finished, not because I didn't like it, but just because I've been in such a horrible reading slump for 3 years that a new book came out, and I had been reading that book for so long that I decided to put it down. But I'm going with Rogue Wave by Jennifer Donnelly, which is the second book in the Deep Blue series. And for my eyeshadow, I'm using this baked eyeshadow trio again from e.l.f. and my C brush from e.l.f. The Waterfire Saga books have really gorgeous covers with the whole, like, mermaid aesthetic going on, because they're books about mermaids. But Rogue Wave has my favorite colors, because my favorite colors are, like, my favorite color is purple, and then I would go with, like, pink and turquoise. And Rogue Wave has kind of got that all going on. It's got the pinks and purples, and it's also got its blends of, like, turquoise and blue, and, like, multiple shades of each of those colors. So that's what I'm going with here. Next question is Eyeliner, and this is a dark and mysterious book. For my eyeliner, I'm using this Intense Ink eyeliner pen from e.l.f. in the shade Blackest Black. So I don't really read a lot of books that are, like, dark and mysterious per se. It's not really my style. But so I decided to go with a book I read for school, like a classic book. Like, and I know I usually don't use classic books on book tags or talk about them on BookTube, really. But I'm going to go ahead and say Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, because everybody knows that that book is, like, dark and mysterious. Because, you know, it's Frankenstein. It's kind of your classic dark and mysterious book. The next question is Mascara, and this is a long book. So most of the really long books I have are in series that I've mentioned already, or I haven't read them yet. So I'm going to go with a book that I've had for like 3 years, but I haven't read it yet. For my mascara, I'm going with Eye Enhancing Mascara from e.l.f. for Hazel Eyes. I'm going with a book that I haven't read, and I've had it for like 3 years because, you know, that was right around the time I hit my reading slump. I started to hit my reading slump. I bought it, and I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to read this, but it's been terrifying me since I've had it, like the summer before the 10th grade, or the something is, I think, when I bought it. And it's been terrifying me since then, and I'm going off to college now, and I still haven't read it. And that is Les Miserables by Victor Hugo, because, you know, I'm a giant theater nerd, and I love Les Mis, so I wanted to read the book that it came with. And I probably did buy this in 9th grade, because that's when I first saw Les Mis, so it would make sense that that's when I bought the book. But it's so terrifying. It's about almost 900 pages long, which I have read books that long before, like, you know, Order of the Phoenix. But the thing is, it is, like, written in Old English. Probably, it was translated from French, so it's going to be really difficult reading level, like all classic literature can be difficult. And, yeah, I'm just really terrified by it. If I do read it, I'm probably going to have to read it in stages, and yikes. So the next question is blush, and this is a cringe-worthy romance. For my blush, I'm using blush from e.l.f. in the shade Twinkle Pink, because I have really pale skin. So, this is a really nice light shade of pink. Because if I put blush that's too intense of a pink on, and if I put too much of it on, we just get cartoon cheeks. But for this one, I am going with the romance in Daughter of Smoke and Bone. And I know that's a really popular book on YouTube, but I read it, and I really did not like it at all. And the romance, especially, made me cringe. Like, he was watching her when she slept, and then he killed her entire family and her entire species. And I'm like, no, please don't do that. That's not romantic. So the next question is highlighter. But I don't really highlight, I just use my concealer to highlight, because any highlighter I get, like I have this white highlighter here from e.l.f., but it's really not a good quality, and it just looks goopy on my skin. And I had a powder highlighter, but like any highlighter I use, because my skin is so pale, it doesn't do anything but look like extra powder on top of my skin. So, but what I do is I contour. So I'm going to answer the question for highlighter while I'm contouring, because, you know, that makes so much sense. And I'm going to be using this powder contour palette from e.l.f. and e.l.f.'s contouring brush. But for a book that brightened my day, I'm going to go with To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. Because, like, I've talked about it on here before, but I had a really bad summer last year. Like, bad things happened that I'm not going to mention. But, and this was the first book to get me out of my reading slump. That wasn't part of a previous series. This was the first book that was a new book I had read that actually got me out of my reading slump. And it's just so cute and so sweet and so much fun that I just love it. And it really is a day brightener because it's so adorable. The final question is lipstick, and this is your favorite book kiss. So for my lipstick, I'm using this Runway Ready lip palette from e.l.f., which is probably the best lipstick I have ever had, because it's just, the color just pops so much. Even if your lips are really chapped, it looks smooth, and it's moisturizing, and it's just the best lipstick. Like, go get yourself a lip palette from e.l.f. because, oh my god. Guys, this is gonna be fun, talking while I put on lipstick. I'm using the red color because I'm wearing a red shirt today, so, you know, I'm gonna go really bold here. For this one, I am going with Ron and Hermione's first kiss from Deathly Hallows. Even though I've already mentioned Deathly Hallows, like, I couldn't ignore this because it is the best book kiss, it is the best fictional kiss ever written, and I wish it had been this, like, the one in the movie was fun too, but I wish the one in the movie, not that I minded the one in the movie, not that I thought it was bad. Guys, I'm screwing this up majorly. I really wish they had followed the book for that one, because it really was the best book kiss of all time. Like, this whole, like, consummation of their love finally happening when Hermione just, like, couldn't hold it in anymore, how much she loved him. And, like, Ron, like, you know, caring about the house elves and mentioning them when he knows how much they matter to Hermione is just so sweet and adorable and would be the perfect ship thing on its own. And also, obviously, like, the best part of this kiss has to be Harry's reaction, because, you guys, my lips came out really bad today. I apologize. But anyway, Harry's reaction to the kiss has got to be the best thing ever. Like, is this it? Is this the moment? So, first we have, like, Harry, like, knowing all along that they were meant to be. And then, obviously, like, oh, there's a woo going on here. It's just hysterical. Probably my favorite moment from Deathly Hallows. And it's the perfect way for a first kiss. And I wish all my slow burn OTPs would have their first kiss like that. I'm going to put my glasses on now. Because, wow, the gift of sight. I'm going to take off this headband that I have, holding everything together. And I'm going to let my hair swish for a second. Because, you know, get the full look here. My makeup could have come out better. It doesn't come out great every day, but, you know, we're working. So, guys, that is it for the makeup book tag. Sorry if this was really long, but, you know, I had to do my makeup and talk at the same time, and it was so hard, and it takes me about 15-20 minutes to do my makeup, so, like, ugh. Alright, I'm gonna go now so I can put my hair back up because it's so hot out today, and, that is it. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye!